Bob Van Haren.
Here.
Jennifer Baker.
Here.
Philip Frame.
Here.
Corey Manuel.
Here.
Nick Reed.
Here.
Jim Bodenhammer.
Here.
Wayne Allman.
Here.
Susan Stockton.
Here.
Okay, the first item of business you got tonight is the minutes from April 16th for your approval.
Make a motion, we adopt the minutes.
Second.
Susan Stockton.
Yes.
Wayne Allman.
Yes.
Philip Frame.
Yes.
Jim Bodenhammer.
Yes.
Corey Manuel.
Yes.
Nick Reed.
Yes.
Jennifer Baker.
Yes.
Bob Van Haren.
Yes.
All right, you got some committee reports in your package if anyone has any questions. If not, we'll go ahead and go to the new business, and the first item it says is a presentation from Blue Guys, and they're not here.
I have
Did
not
you hear
heard from them. I have this sneaking suspicion they were thinking we were meeting at 6. So
Well, they'll have to reschedule. We're
they
gonna
may
go.
come storming in here at 5:30.
We're not gonna wait
I don't
till
blame you.
6 on.
Seriously?
Huh?
Seriously?
Seriously. Serious. All right, so we're going to the next item, which is a discussion of the late Cindy Wynn and a request from her husband. Roger, you want
Well, as Alma had
Or Alma.
on here, Alma had brought it to my attention, and I reached out to Steve Wynn, her husband. If you remember, we did this with Debbie House when she passed away, and it's provided for that she would receive, or that he would receive one half of her pension. We've done it in the past, and from someone that draws a city pension, I'm probably biased in saying it's the right thing to do, but it's consistent with what we've done in the past.
Okay.
And we reached out to him to see if he wanted to. He does want to. I think actually it's a reduction in budget from what we've been doing for Cindy, but we've done it in the past for Debbie. You're going to have it potentially coming up for Joe Dillard someday, and potentially for me, and I think that's the only people that are left, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that would be, and those would be addressed as they come about, because you don't know that you're going to have to do it, but that's the only other situation that you would have. But
Okay.
in order to do it, I think how we've done it in the past, the council has authorized it, and so that we've got something in the minutes.
Well, I make a motion, we authorize that he receive the portion of the pension. Second.
Wayne Allman.
Yes.
Corey Manuel.
Yes.
Bob Van Haren.
Yes.
Jim Bodenhammer.
Yes.
Nick Reed.
Yes.
Susan Stockton.
Yes.
Jennifer Baker.
Yes.
Philip Frame.
Yes.
All right, the next item we've got is a request to open a special checking account for Daniel Baxley and Alma.
The Parks Department with the MHCC has gotten a new PC card. So we need an account to put that money into. That PC card's being provided by farmers and merchants. So we'd rather just open up the account there. It will be linked to the 125 fund that they have now. So they'll have the main fund that everything goes into it for security, and then one for the PC cash back. I think it's 1% or 1% cash back like we have at Arvest on the rest of our accounts. So we'd just like to be able to get that open so that that can be direct deposited directly from them into that account.
So they get 1% back for using the card?
That's correct. Anything you spend off that card, they give us 1% cash back, and they direct deposit that every month.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
Second.
I was just going to ask, can we put the whole center project on that card real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Philip Frame.
Yes.
Jim Bodenhammer.
Yes.
Susan Stockton.
Yes.
Jennifer Baker.
Yes.
Nick Reed.
Yes.
Corey Manuel.
Yes.
Bob Van Haren.
Yes.
Wayne Allman.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, and the next item is the approval of the 2025 water sewer audit, Alma.
Yes, last week I provided a copy of that to put in your boxes for your review. It is considered a clean audit, and it's very good.
We have to do this each year after the audit and get it approved.
That's correct, so that you've accepted the audit.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to accept or approve the audit.
Second.
Corey Manuel.
Yes.
Jim Bodenhammer.
Yes.
Bob Van Haren.
Yes.
Jennifer Baker.
Yes.
Nick Reed.
Yes.
Wayne Allman.
Yes.
Philip Frame,
Yes.
Susan Stockton.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Emma. The next item you've got on here is the approval of a professional services agreement with Garver for the Southwest Water Tank to Midway project. Steve's not here tonight. Steve's been very sick the last 2 days, and he's apparently got the flu bug or something like that. I know Arnold is, but he may not be as familiar with it as Steve is, but we need to get Garver under contract so they can proceed with doing the design work on that project, which has already been funded, and we're ready to move on that work pretty much right now, aren't we, Arnold? Yes, we are. Yeah.
Yeah, we've discussed it in committee and gone over it with our last meeting as well about ensuring to lock that in to bring it to council, so.
Okay.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Nick Reed,
Yes.
Jennifer Baker,
Yes.
Kari Emanuel,
Yes.
Wayne Allman,
Yes.
Philip Frame,
Yes.
Bob Van Haren,
Yes.
Jim Bodenhammer,
Yes.
Susan Stockton.
Yes.
All right, the next time you've got is a resolution waiving competitive bidding. Eddie Griffin?
Yes, this is a bid waiver that would allow us to buy a Ford Expedition, which most of our police vehicles are Ford Explorers, but this is the next physical size up. The reason being, it'll go to our drone operator, and it'll have a screen in the back. So if we're looking for somebody, instead of seeing it just on an 8x8 screen, it'll be on a television-sized screen and be easier to hopefully have success if we're tracking a person, a bad guy, or looking for maybe somebody who has wandered off. On the state bids, the Ford Expedition isn't offered, the Chevy Tahoe is, but the Expedition police vehicle is actually $500 cheaper than the state bid Tahoe. So, you know, that was what we were hoping to go with.
And we're able to support local.
Yeah, it's that we can get it here at Ultimate. We'll get it from a local vendor, and it's a little bit cheaper than the state bid, and we'll match our other vehicles except for the next physical size bigger.
Look like it's on steroids.
Yeah, pretty much.
Make a motion, we approve the resolution to purchase the vehicle.
Second.
Wayne Allman,
Yes.
Susan Stockton,
Yes.
Jim Bodenhammer,
Yes.
Philip Frame,
Yes.
Jennifer Baker,
Yes.
Nick Reed,
Yes.
Kari Emanuel,
Yes.
Bob Van Haren.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Morgan, the next item, please.
Whereas City Council, City of Mountain Home did on March 20th, 2003, adopt ordinance number 2003-10, which established permitting process and collection of fees for the construction and conversion of building structures. Whereas the ordinance did not directly prescribe a permitting process and the collection of fees for the demolition of building structures. Whereas City of Mountain Home, in the interim since that ordinance was adopted, has issued a demolition permit and collected upfront up to $115 in fees for the permits, whereas necessary to formalize the permit process and the collection of associated fees by ordinance, therefore be it ordained, permits shall be required for the destruction of or demolition of any building structure located within the boundaries of the city. Permits may be obtained from the city's planning and engineering department. Section 2, fees for demolition permit issued by the city shall be as follows: $75 for a demolition permit that does not require a sewer inspection and/or capping of sewer line, $115 for a demolition permit that does require a sewer inspection and capping of a sewer line. Such permits shall be valid for 6 months from date of issuance. Said permit shall automatically be renewed by the city if demolition work is actively being carried out on site. Any person, firm, corporation, or agent who violates any provision of this ordinance shall be guilty of a misdemeanor and shall, upon conviction, pay a fine of not less than $150 nor more than $500 for each violation. This shall be in full force and effect beginning on June 7, 2006, and shall continue until repealed, amended, or replaced.
Scott, if I remember correct, this was just going to be the first reading of this one, correct?
No, sir, we're actually wanting to do all 3 readings on this one.
Okay. It's the next one. All right, very good. Any questions about this? I think Arnold and/or Clay are both here if anyone has any questions.
Is there currently not a permitting fee for demolition, or where is this coming from, I guess?
We are currently charging the $75 or $115.
Okay.
We've just never officially set the price for that fee. We've got a handwritten note in a manila folder that says demolition permit $75,115.
So we're just
We're just
Codifying.
We're codifying what we're already doing.
okay.
Correct.
So-
And you probably don't even know who wrote the note.
I believe it was Greg. I believe Greg wrote it, but it's,
I think when he left, we said we would blame everything on him.
it works out well so far.
Got a few years to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not going to come in and defend himself. Well, I make a motion that we approve this ordinance for second reading. Or, geez. I just
Suspend the rules.
Suspend the
Second reading.
rules.
There you go.
Put it in second reading.
Second.
I've been traveling all day. I'm sorry.
He's tired.
Susan Stockton,
Yes.
Wayne Allman,
Yes.
Philip Frame,
Yes.
Jim Bodenhammer.
Yes.
Bob Van Haren.
Yes.
Jennifer Baker.
Yes.
Nick Reed.
Yes.
Corey Manuel.
Yes.
It's an ordinance providing for the issuance of permits and collection of fees pertaining to the construction of building structures within the city of Mountain Home, Arkansas.
Motion to suspend the rules, put on third reading.
Second.
Wayne Allman,
Yes.
Jim Bodenhammer.
Yes.
Philip Frame,
Yes.
Bob Van Haren,
Yes.
Nick Reed,
Yes.
Corey Manuel,
Yes.
Susan Stockton.
Yes.
Jennifer Baker.
Yes.
It's ordinance providing for the issuance of permits and collection of fees pertaining to the destruction of building structures within the city of Mountain Home, Arkansas.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Philip Frame,
Yes.
Jim Bodenhammer,
Yes.
Nick Reed,
Yes.
Susan Stockton.
Yes.
Jennifer Baker,
Yes.
Corey Manuel,
Yes.
Wayne Allman,
Yes.
Bob Van Haren.
Yes. And we can't have an emergency clause
No,
because
it's
it's
got a
30
penalty with
days,
it.
right?
Yeah, it's gotta be 30 days.
Okay.
All right, so that takes care of that now. Ms. Morgan, one more time, please.
I believe on this next one, my notes said that we're requesting for the council to approve by reading by title only. These next two are fairly lengthy, and the changes in them are small, and I think city clerk is just asking for the first reading
Yes.
tonight anyway, so the public would have
That is
plenty of
correct,
options
yes.
to look at
Yes.
it.
I'll make a motion to read by title only.
Second.
Susan Stockton.
Yes.
Wayne Allman.
Yes.
Philip Frame,
Yes.
Jim Bodenhammer,
Yes.
Bob Van Haren,
Yes.
Jennifer Baker.
Yes.
Corey Manuel,
Yes.
Nick Reed.
Yes.
It's an ordinance providing for short-term rentals within the city of Mount Home, Arkansas, providing guidelines and procedures, also providing guidelines and procedures for short-term rentals within platted subdivisions within residential zoning.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think Arnold's here to talk about the only minor change in this, please.
This last year, it's been growing, is what it's been doing. Short-term rental business permits come due January 1, along with all our business permits and everything else like that that come barreling in by the hundreds into our building inspection department. What we're proposing is to break off just the short-term rentals and make them next year in 2027, basically sell, and come January 1, sell a 6-month permit. Then they'll come due on a yearly basis on July 1. So just trying to separate the short-term business permits from all our other business permits and everything, and our business licenses and everything else that come pouring in at that first of the year.
And
So it'll stay the same.
Same
It's
amount.
just next
Same
year they'll
amount,
pay
same-
half the amount in January and then it'll
Start on a
renew
yearly
starting in
basis
July.
every July.
July, okay.
Just trying to get a little bit more calmer, maybe in 2028.
Just a payment change, time change, basically.
Exactly.
And leveling the load a little bit for that office over there.
Exactly.
Spreading it
For
out
everything
a
hitting the
little
first
Right
year.
now, it's a 3-person job trying to do all the business licenses and permits and everything else right there at the first
So
of the year.
and I see some short-term rental owners here, so when they do January to July next year, then when they pay the rest of it in July, it comes up in July of 2018.
It'll be July.
They'll come up
annually.
every 12 months after.
Okay.
That's the only change.
That's the only change.
That's the only change,
And
yeah.
we're in no hurry for it because it ain't gonna take effect until January 1 anyway. And so give the public time to gel on it, everything like that, but that's all that we're asking for.
for.
I believe there may be some questions.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Amy, did you or Walt have a question about it? Yes,
Yeah,
please.
just if you would introduce yourself, tell us where you're from, and
My name's Walt McKay, and we own a few short-term rental properties here in Mountain Home. Our only concern was the proposal that each unit of our apartment will be needing to pay an occupational license. So we have, for example, New Creation Properties, which is the building off of Baker and 8th. You know, we have 6 units under one roof, and what I was understanding about that proposal is that rather than having one occupational license for that business, now we will need 6 occupational licenses for that business.
How many do we need now on it?
If you have just one occupation license right now, it's still going to remain the same.
Okay,
All that we're changing is the date.
okay.
Well, I was confused because it said all the underlying portions are new, and it
Yeah,
underlines or rental unit.
I added that, trying to clarify that. We can strike that out. That's not a big deal.
That was the question.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
because you operate that property over where Walt is.
I think they're just saying if it's a house, if it's a structure, or a complex, as far as on that side, is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, I was
Yeah.
just trying to, we can strike it out. It's not.
Theirs falls under a rental unit, it'd be one rental unit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not 6 separate occupational licenses?
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
No, it's a
expensive. That would
license
make
to
a
operate
difference.
that location. right?
Okay,
Yeah.
great, thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you so
Yep.
much.
And it'll just, in January, it's gonna save you a little money, and in July, you'll. All right, that takes care of that.
Makes you
one,
feel
right?
better, you can say.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, Roger.
I think this is the same one as Scott and I talked. This is just like the last one, if we could read title only. Is that, or you
Yes.
want to
Yeah, just,
go ahead and read the whole thing?
no, just, let's read by title only, then we can go over it. 'Cause
Okay.
That way we're not having to read the whole thing.
Okay, because the changes are minor, but I
The
think.
changes are minor, and actually, the actual ordinance itself, I'm not sure anything's actually physically changing. It's all the sub
Okay, well, we
stuff.
would need a motion to read it by title only.
Motion to read by title only concerning the billboards and signs.
Second.
Bob Van Haren,
Yes.
Wayne Allman,
Yes.
Philip Frame,
Yes.
Jim Bodenhammer,
Yes.
Corey Manuel,
Yes.
Susan Stockton.
Yes.
Jennifer Baker.
Yes.
Nick Reed.
Yes.
This is an ordinance regulating the use of banners, commercial yard signs, portable billboards, and other temporary signage in the city of Mountain Home, Arkansas.
All right, back in this last election cycle for the primaries, we had a guy come in, he wanted to get a permit for a mobile billboard, and they weren't sure exactly what to do with it. It's larger than a banner, so that was kind of the question on it. We thought it best to kind of address it. Basically, we would create our own little section in there called mobile billboards. It defines them. It sets a maximum size of them of 150 square feet. That's the maximum size of your actual in-the-ground billboards. So that's going to be capped out at that. It also limits their use to political campaign signs. We don't have normal businesses using them. It'll just be for the 60 days before the elections. And the you wouldn't have to require them to have a permit. It would be just like your normal campaign signs or whatever. You just put them out, you police them, keep them out of the right of way, keep them out of the streets, and you're okay. We also added a section, I call them coming soon type signs. Basically, you're going to build a bank out here, you put out a sign, future home of Bob's Bank. We had a bank contact us a couple months ago. They said, hey, we want to put a sign out here. We said, well, when are you going to build it there? And they said, well, a year and a half, 2 years from now. So rather than just give them an unfettered permission to put out a sign for that long, we kind of came up with this idea. If you have a construction permit or a renovation permit, if that's active, you could put out one of those coming soon signs. As long as that's active, you're out there working on it. And that's just, it's never been addressed, and they were wanting to go ahead and put something out there, and we weren't sure how to permit that exactly. So that was kind of the compromise we came up with. So they wouldn't have anything out there right now, but once they break ground and start working on it, they could put something out there.
And when you go to permit on a bank, it's building especially and everything, it's gonna be a good year and a half build or so anyway. We thought that time period of coming soon is probably good enough rather than being, I don't know, that it could go on for a decade, you never know. They might never build that.
They might get changed too.
Might be like Aldi's and there'd be a sign moving all around town for 10 years before you figure out where it's gonna be.
Yeah.
But, and then the political, the large mobile billboard and everything, that one kind of didn't really, back to our sign ordinance, basically. It didn't really fit any one category of our local yard signs, and we had those all excluded on political. And then the large billboards is a whole different monster. It was about the size of a large billboard if you've seen some of the large ones on the trailers and everything that they put out. It puts our department in a bind, really, to get anything into the political arena. We really don't want to try to police that too awful much, but you got to keep some constraints on it on sides. So we thought that this was a pretty good mixture of allow them to go up to 150 square foot, and which is about the size of what they had going on the trailers, and but yet keep it to where they don't need a permit for being political. It'll still fall underneath that was it our 90-day window or something
Well, that's
like
what I
that.
was going to ask. What if it's a political statement, let's say? How's that going to, how is that?
They're only allowed during with the election season
Yeah, it's
coming up.
tied to the actual election, so there'd have to be an election
Okay.
pending for it.
Yeah, that's where I've got two questions on that. One, if we're going to allow mobile billboards, period, how can we tell somebody they can't have a business on a mobile billboard?
It's not political.
No, I understand, but I mean, I'm just saying that's my whole point on this, is that if so-and-so wants to advertise their business that they've got on the far east side of town, on the far west side of town.
It's an off-premise sign.
That's an
Off-site sign.
Okay.
It's an off-premise sign at that point, and that's not allowed.
And that's not allowed?
They
Okay.
could decorate their truck or van or vehicle and leave that somewhere,
Okay.
because that's not,
So the Peaceville bill is safe.
It's safe, yeah. No, well, my other question on that then is, though, that ties more on the political side, because this was a lot of our side ordinance things from before. If we have a nonprofit, a church, something like that wants to use one of those rolling billboards to advertise their event or whatever they have going on, are they going to be restricted to that? How are we going to?
They're allowed in the banners and everything like that.
I understand they're allowed in the banners, but I'm just saying, if they want to do a sign like that, would it?
As long as it sticks to those banner sizes and everything, no. Yeah. As far as a mobile billboard, 150 square foot and political, that's the only part in this ordinance that we're adding.
And right now, we're not regulating that at all.
Right.
No.
It really didn't fit anywhere because of off-premise mostly. How do, anybody, Bob running for city council or something, well, it's always off-premise unless it's at his residence or something, so.
How long can it stay at the site it's at?
Up until.
A mobile.
Is it 3 days or 5 days right after the election?
No, well, I meant, if I've got a rolling billboard for a political sign, I can move it around. It's mobile, obviously.
Jim, there's no set term on that. Signs go out 60 days before the election, I want to say. So it could be out the full 60 days. There's not a
And you can move it as you want it to.
You can move it as you desired.
Just like you can move a yard sign.
But anybody else, a church or somebody wants to put one up, they're allowed.
As long as it's on there.
We're going to create mobile.
No, because they become off-premise. If the church or something wants a sign on a trailer,
yeah,
as long as it's on their property and everything, then it's allowed. Otherwise, it becomes off-premise.
So to advertise an event or anything like that,
Yeah,
it just.
there is some clauses underneath banners that allow like the events and.
No, I know
for the charity.
the banner side. That's why I'm just curious, because I don't know where this has become an issue before, where now it's before us now. So I'm just concerned that it's going to come to a point where somebody's going to want to advertise something, and so then it falls under the off-premise regulations
Bob,
versus.
basically, I put this together because it started getting kind of confusing. Here's kind of your classifications of signs. Your yard sign's up to a 24 by 18 inch sign.
Right.
Anything above that, up to 100 square feet, is considered a banner. That could be cloth, it could be made of wood, it doesn't matter. It's just the size is the key thing on it.
Right.
Then your mobile billboards are bigger than 100 square feet, up to 150 square feet. And then your billboards, permanent billboards, up to 150 square feet.
So under 100 square feet, then legitimately they could have a sign advertising an event on the back of a trailer and it wouldn't count as a mobile billboard. It'd count as a banner.
It would count as a banner.
Banner.
That's your
Okay.
vacation
Under-
Bible school stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
vacation
Yeah.
Bible school, whatever. Yeah, okay. Okay, all right, that's,
And you decide what's political?
Well,
No.
if it's on the election,
Yeah, if it's
That's
a
what-
ballot issue.
Okay.
the ballot issue and everything.
Yeah, if it's on the ballot, if you had an amendment or an issue on the ballot. you
so not
did
just a
that.
person running, but any kind of political.
Anything it's gonna be.
Yeah,
If it's on the ballot.
amendment number 32 or whatever
Yeah.
comes up, they get all kinds of different things going on the ballot.
Well, then I wouldn't know that with this, then we might want to update it just to clarify the limiting the use of the political campaign signs to include ballot issues, just to have it black and white so it's not.
Clarify that. and
Clarify
then
that. I mean,
We'll come up with that edit, yeah.
so that it's got to be just on the ballot. It can't be something that they're trying to push to get on the
Yeah.
ballot is what I'm
Right.
saying.
It
You know,
needs to be on the ballot.
it has to be on the ballot
I think I would
first.
clarify
That's,
that.
yeah, I would clarify that.
Yeah, we can do that.
Good point.
So Scott, you can make that happen.
Yeah, we'll get
be
that
back
plugged
to
in.
Deal with it.
And let us know if you ever have any questions or calls or something like that. We're always open.
All right, thank you, Arnold. Okay, Scott, that takes care of everything on the agenda. I think I got you something this afternoon. I'd like to show y'all, something real quick. We're just gonna call this How to Plaster a Pool. And
There's the photo of it.
sometime after lunch today, they started plastering the outdoor pool. At one time, I counted 18 people, and they're walking around on those shoes spraying that plaster. And it is an absolutely amazing thing to watch. That's the last pool to be plastered. And sometime here within the next hour or so, they'll start putting water in that pool. So if you ever wondered how the plaster got on the pool, now you know. It's kind of like in the beginning, Bob, when you always want to know what a city clerk did.
Right.
You know? Now you know how
He
to-
doesn't plaster pools.
I don't
I
plaster
don't
pools,
wanna
no.
Wow.
You can see them walking on those cleated shoes down through that stuff there. And it is quite a process to watch someone shut up with you. That's the last one, and by sometime tonight, we hope they get completely done with it tonight. It could be in the morning, depending on, they started at 6 this morning, so they may give up here a little bit and get ready for some dinner and a break, you
Yeah,
know.
early in the morning, yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool though.
That's amazing.
All right, Scott, that takes care of everything on the agenda. Anything else? All right,
Motion to adjourn?
thank you, sir.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.